Pandemics, we do very well with pandemics, in fact. We're better prepared for a pandemic situation, say now, than we were 10, 12 years ago when the SARS epidemic hit Asia. Our technology is much better. Our capacity to identify a novel virus or bacterium is much, much better. And we're really pretty well ahead of the game. The great pandemic risk that we know about is, of course, influenza. And that comes back regularly. We're monitoring for it. There's a very organised global network that operates out of Geneva with regional labs in London and Melbourne and Beijing and Japan and Atlanta. And we're pretty much on top of it. But the problem with influenza is even when we do diagnose a new influenza strain that's come out of nature, come out of birds or pigs, we still take about 3, 4, 5, 6 months to get a vaccine out there. It's just a matter of actually making it. It's a technical problem. But we're actually much better prepared to deal with pandemics than we were in the past. I don't think pandemics are such a problem. We actually do get regular pandemics that nobody ever notices, and they're caused by a virus called the norovirus, the Norwalk virus, the one that causes 3-day sickness with vomiting, the one that you get when you're on a cruise ship and the whole cruise ship is throwing up. We get regular pandemics of that, but nobody takes much notice because nobody dies. But in a pandemic situation, once you bring in that emotive component, because people are dying, or children are dying, even worse, then you'll get people coming behind the medical authorities, and they'll comply pretty much with what's asked, I think. They won't travel when they're not supposed to travel. They'll want to get the vaccine and all the rest of it. So I don't think pandemics are the great concern. I think the great concern is just the ordinary infections that are out there.
But still, I mean, if mortality rises, then people get very much concerned, particularly in the initial phases. And the problem, of course, is always we don't really know how things will go ahead.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
That sort of creates an uncertainty, and uncertainty is bad.
Well, I wasn't saying pandemics weren't a problem. I'm saying that getting people to comply when you've got a pandemic is not such a problem. Pandemics are always a threat. I mean, we're watching very closely at the moment a virus in the Middle East, which is closely related to the SARS virus. It seems it's maybe come out of bats like the SARS virus did. It maybe is going through camels first, but it does transmit between humans. And that is a potential pandemic threat. It's being monitored very, very closely. I don't think we're going to suffer from it. There's another virus, influenza virus, has just come out in China. It's called H7N9. It's not a virus we've ever seen before in people. It's going from birds to people. There's maybe one case of it going from person to person, but genetically, when they do the sequence of the virus, it looks very like a virus that could spread readily in humans. And so that's being watched incredibly carefully. It's killed about 30% of the people who've been infected, principally older people, and principally people who have a genetic defect in one of the interferon genes. This is one of the protective genes that gets switched on as soon as people get infected. So we're learning a lot from this, but I think that sort of situation, and the Chinese are doing a wonderful job with it. It's actually happening in China, and they're doing a great job, and their science has come on enormously in the last 10 or 15 years. They're enormously more sophisticated than they were, and much more interactive than they were too. They've come out of this kind of shell, and they're very much part of the international community.
But you only basically know afterwards, you know.
When it happens, yeah.
When it has happened, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.